However, let's talk about Bitcoin price. Why I'm not trading, right? The Bitcoin price, it's literally at the same place for weeks. There is a good and a bad sign of it, okay? However, let's just have a look at the graphs and see, first of all, Bitcoin, and I would like also to give my beta opinion on SpaceX, okay? Because I know lots of people are panicking to, buy SpaceX, and honestly, I'll talk about that in a second, but it's a massive red flag when it's a lot of advertisements, all platforms talking about it, everybody pushing you to buy something. For sure, it's a signal that early investors want to cash in. Cash out. I mean, and this is actually what happened to them. Regarding Bitcoin, as I mentioned, this is the 4 hour time frame, but let's go to the daily or even the weekly as the price is not moving. It looks so obvious, but it's not happening, right? I see that people are very excited and attached to things, but you know what? It's just not happening. It looks very obvious if you zoom out. 1 second, that's the 15 minutes. Let's go to the daily. Oh, that's the daily. Okay. So this is where I'm looking for, okay, on a daily. The next big accumulation phase back to 90,000. However, as I said, it looks obvious to have a recover, but somehow it's just not happening. And if you sold here, congratulations. I regret not selling out here. And sometimes in trading you miss opportunities. Sometimes in trading you have to do nothing. I'm literally just sitting for 2 weeks and waiting. You can always open and close in altcoins, but I don't think it's the most big opportunity, right? Sometimes you just have to step out. And I spoke about it multiple times. So I believe Bitcoin, if we hold, I'm not sure if this Monday, I'm in Dubai, so it's currently 3 p.m. here. I'm not sure if we will hold this week or next week. We need to wait on US opening and see how the market will react. And then I will definitely take a decision. However, moving to the 4 hourly time frame, it's likely to hold. It's likely, but as I said, it's just not happening yet. So I am not gonna open any type of positions. However, if we do hold and pump a bit to 60,000 and show more of a holding momentum, I am gonna long all the way to 65 and probably close and see what's gonna happen from there, because it's also a very critical point if you go to the weekly. I know it might be confusing, but when it comes to trading, you have to go to the weekly, daily, then 4 hour, then 15 minutes to open your entry, right? So now, if you go to the weekly, look like we are going to go lower. And again, it depends how US opening will be this week. And if we go lower, I'm gonna short as well. If you have a look and notice that, let me just double for you because I'm so used to see support resistance that sometimes I don't draw it anymore. I would say a lot lower, right? This is the next area for us if we don't hold, all right, which is just literally the previous consolidation, because that's the thing, guys. The graph has memory and sooner or later it will close. So we can potentially close that and have a drastic bear market. That's the weekly, okay? It takes 1 week to close a single candle. So either way, I'm gonna play in my advantage. But if you look to the long term, Bitcoin, it's one of the best asset because you cannot even compare BTC to money. You have different ways to look into Bitcoin. You can look into Bitcoin as Bitcoin, or you can look into Bitcoin as a currency, which I don't like to look as a currency because even knowing that we have mass adoption at our door. I believe that Bitcoin is not even close to be comparable to a currency. I mean, a fiat currency. Let me just reposition myself. Bitcoin shouldn't be compared to fiat. So if you are always looking to accumulate, it's a better decision than accumulating fiat, right? The structure, the ownership, the entire thing around it, it's completely the opposite. It's meant to give you rights on top of your assets. So it's always a great time to accumulate. And if you are like me, that you don't look into Bitcoin as a fiat, as a currency, you look into a store of value, it's always a great time to accumulate. However, um, short-term token trading wise, I am still waiting, but it might be bullish. But again, 65, 62, 63, it's another levels to be watching. If we hold and just hold here for some time, it's going to be sweet. But if we just pump back to 62, 63, and if we show a bit of weakness, I'm going to be looking into short all the way to whatever, 29, 30,000, even lower, because that's the thing with trading. We don't have the exact number, we don't know the exact probabilities. All we can do is to bet and wait on a TA, wait on a market to tell us what to do. And literally, I've been sitting here for 2 weeks right now, just watching nothing happen. So I think markets are also a bit exhausted and they're looking forward to move shortly. So let's hope. However, I'm going to show you, I'm also marking down inch, okay? Why? Because I haven't traded in a while and you need to address every asset into your circumstances. If you don't have enough capital for you, it's not worth to trade Bitcoin or Ethereum. You can go to small altcoins. So such as Inch, XRP, and you got a huge variety and they all follow BTC. So I'm waiting on my triggers and I'm waiting on the market to tell me what to do. But you can see this is a very, very, accurate, let's say, support resistance levels, and I am looking forward to open a long or a short depending on what the market is going to tell me. If we get rejected here, again close the 200 EMA period, it's a great short all the way to 250. If we manage to hold, I'm going to be longing and see what the market will give me on the upside and exit. That's it. When it comes to trading, it's that simple. It's passion, waiting, exit. That's it. Right. So now, before I move into the website, I just want to give my outlook opinion in the SpaceX history and situation and why some people went absolutely bullish about SpaceX. IPO, and I have a video explaining about IPO and ICO, which are the same things, but IPO it's in the traditional market and the ICO belongs to the crypto terms. Guys, majority of the companies when they go public, the people who really profit from it are the early investors. It might be looking into 10 years early still, okay? Even trading wise, it might be time to start following to longs. But I don't think in my circumstances it's a great thing, okay? It's public already and the drop is caused by early investors cashing out their money. They are not stupid people. They are huge people, probably took money from AI bubble, took money from other assets and injected into SpaceX. And now you're seeing that drop. So address to your current circumstances, but also learn how to be not attached to hypes. I've seen every single trading platform out here in the UAE promoting SpaceX IPO, and it's okay. It's their business, right? And if you are trading, it's fine, really. But if you're looking to accumulate, if you're not an insider, I don't think it's a great opportunity. It's already late, in my opinion. But if you look into 10 years from now, if you believe on the mission and the vision of, getting into Mars and all of that, which unfortunately, I don't really buy into that anymore, which is very sad because I'm a big fan of getting out of Earth. You know, I'm a big conspiracy theorist as well, but I just don't believe that they're gonna make it, right? So if you believe, if you are aligned, you can go for it. But when it comes to Tesla cars and other things that he built, I believe it's going to succeed and I believe it's a great investment. Okay. They have energy, they have cars, they got Wi Fi, and many other products with utility. While SpaceX, it's an ambitious, beautiful thing, but for my circumstances at the moment, I think is a bit of a hallucination, and AI might be even better. So have a look on that and think about according to your own circumstances. Okay, investing, it's really serious and belongs to your own circumstances. But if you are looking into trade, let's have a look on the price first. Okay, normally these kind of new assets, they spike at least 3 times. Okay, I noticed that. What does it mean? Meaning it will pump at least 3 times. So one, two, okay, you can consider that just the opening. So second, third, and might be one more pump. That's how pretty much all the coins and stocks follow. But it really depends. Okay, so trading wise, this is the daily. Again, it takes 24 hours to form one candle. At the daily, it's looking a bit bullish, but it doesn't mean it's going to pump tomorrow. It doesn't mean it's going to recover tomorrow. It can take up to 2 months, 3 months, or it can just pump at any time. So when it comes to that decision, you need to know that it's a probability, all right? However, it's a bullish sign for a trading side, not long term investment, if you know what I mean. If you are looking into trade, it might be time to start accumulating phase again. However, I am not going to get involved, as I mentioned, because I don't see, much value on the long term. Maybe on the trading side, when I see that on the 4 hourly time frame looks a bit more bullish, it might take like at least a week to consolidate. Let's have a look together. Yeah, so it can take up to a week to consolidate a bit and start pumping. Maybe I would get the opportunity. It really depends. But I really want you guys to understand the difference between long term and short term. Short term is a trading thing. As a trader, you can always get in and out of any asset. As an investor, long term talking, you need to make a decision for the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, you can call it 2 years, 3 years, a long term these days, right? But as a trader, go for it. As an investor for a real long term, make sure you are aligned to the vision and any project, okay? Not only SpaceX, any project that you are looking into invest in the next 3, 5, 10 years, you got to ask yourself that question. Am I willing to sit here and give you my capital for this X amount of time? You know, it's a bit more of a serious investment. But as I mentioned, if you do believe that they will succeed, go for it. Trading wise might be accumulating to pump one more time, but I don't really know what's going to happen. And that's the thing. We are just speculating. All right. But if you go to their website, let me share it with you. You can read the roadmap, you can read the proposal, you can read everything. And it was a really hype also on NASDAQ. Everybody's talking about it. But if you go to the website, there is a roadmap and you can read the entire project, the size of the investment. You can see that they're planning to be sustainable, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm not the best person when it comes to the sustainability topic. you know. Anyways, it's powered by AI as well, and you can see the trillions and the crazy number of parabolic predictions. And this is what you have to look at as an investor. you need to go to the tables and compare the graphs information when it comes to investment and what they do and what they're willing to do and with who they partner. But as I mentioned, I don't think we will achieve that in our lifetime, unfortunately. Might be in 300 years from now. I don't want to be that person. Do you know what I mean? Everything is possible. If you do have a dream and you work towards, but I don't even think the word is the way that people teach you. Anyways, that's a conversation for a different matter. Um, as I mentioned, he has lots of great investments, such as Tesla Motors, solar panels, energy, infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. So you can just spend your time. And if you are going to invest, you should definitely pay attention to the numbers, okay? However, if you move to their website and go to the first page, you can have a deep understanding and explore it. He's planning to make the life multi-planetary, which I believe that it's one of the greatest ideas of all times, but I don't think we will achieve yet. Okay, but I'm still optimistic in a long term token. Maybe by outsiders that will come to our world and help us, but I don't think humans has the capability yet. However, if you like to be part of it, you can also see that he has X, Grok PJ, and Grok, and other investments attached to it. And if you are investing in a long term again, please wait, do your research, and really think about it. We're living in a world of a multipolar shift. Everything is changing, money becoming digital, and you need to be very, very wise when it comes to your next financial decision. If it's not trading, even if it's trading, right? But as a trader, you can always get in and out. So if you are looking to put your life savings into something in a multipolar world, you better study. And I'm begging you for that. So at the moment, I am only sitting here and waiting on my triggers and see what Bitcoin is going to do this week. Might do nothing, might do something. It's something that we will find out together. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. Bye bye.